rodafleming in the Philippines here, not very sunny, but here we are. I want to do a quick video here just to respond to questions that have been raised, saying that I am too enthusiastic in suggesting that all homosexuals are actually transsexual. Well, I'm not saying that, and I have never said that. I may have occasionally, tongue-in-cheek, suggested that gender-conforming homosexuals are failed transsexuals, but you do have to understand a certain sense of irony and a journalistic license when one writes captivating headlines. The fact is that the people we're talking about here are what I call transgender homosexuals. That is, masculine female lesbians, feminine male gays. Okay? They will typically have begun showing gender non-conforming behaviour in the 2 to 4 age range. They will continue to do that through childhood. As they reach adolescence, this will crystallise their sense of sexuality, their desire for their desired partners will become very firmly crystallised at this time, and they will be homosexual. Right? Now, the question is, will they then become transsexual? And the point is, all transgender homosexuals do have the propensity to do that. It is possible for all of them. But you have to understand that what causes that transition is a thing called gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is the discomfort felt when your sexuality doesn't match your gender. Gender is the way that we express our sexuality to the rest of the world, and that's the interface through which we connect with everybody else. So, obviously, if your gender doesn't match your inner self, which is actually your sexuality, then you feel a certain discomfort. That's on a scale of variation. Some people have it rather mildly, and some people have it very severely. So it's a scale from black to white. It's greys all the way through. So a person will transition, a transgender homosexual will transition if he or she feels the gender dysphoria to be more difficult to deal with than his or her fear of social rejection and intolerance after transition. Okay? Put that very bluntly, if she thinks she'll get away with it, she'll do it. Now, that involves a whole bunch of other parameters, because the first thing is, well, what's the society like that you live in? Is it very tolerant of people who might just be a little bit almost androgynous? Well, in a society where that is rejected, like the USA, then only the most beautiful, the most feminine passable HSTS boys will transition. Because they'll go, yeah, I'm just not good enough. If they're not that beautiful, they'll go, well, maybe I'm just not good enough looking to do it. And they won't transition. It's pretty basic stuff. In other cultures, for example, the Philippines, where it is much more relaxed and that sort of thing, far more transgender homosexuals become HSTS, at least for part of their lives. They go, yeah, I can look great. I'll be a girl, I'll wear my hair long, and I'll have lots of fun. It's all very cool. It's all very relaxed, It's not a big deal. The West has got into this really weird situation where, because of internalized homophobia on the part of gender-conforming gays, that they are so obsessed with not showing any signs of femininity that they reject anything that accommodates that. And so they absolutely hate the idea of HSTS, even if there is a part of them that feels gender dysphoria quite strongly, and that's normal. That is normal. So what I'm saying is that there are several scales of variation going on here. There's how you look, there's how the society is, there's things like what kind of job you want, what kind of education you want, and all of these things are going to intersect at the point at which the individual decides whether or not to transition. Okay? And obviously the intensity of their gender dysphoria. It doesn't seem to have much to do with libido. And their orientation as homosexuals seems to be pretty much the same wherever. They are strictly homosexual. But there are other parameters which very much are on scales of variation, and each individual is different. You can't just make a blanket diagnosis and say, that person will be HSTS. You could take one person in this culture, the Philippines, who would definitely turn out HSTS, and take them to the USA and they wouldn't. So it is the same person, but a different culture. So certain sets of parameters have changed. So what I'm saying is that this is far more nuanced than just, all transgender homosexuals are failed HSTS. I'm not saying that. I might say that for a joke, and I think that maybe some gender-conforming gays should lighten up and maybe improve their sense of humour, because they really need it, What I am saying is that they all have a propensity to do it. Every gender-conforming homosexual I've ever met has exhibited some signs of gender dysphoria of some kind. And they have it's either been shown by the way they dress, their mannerisms, that sort of thing. And in private, they're quite often much more open about it. Many homosexuals gender conforming male homosexuals will tell you that they thought, in fact, James Cantor said this in an interview recently, that at one point they thought they were asking themselves, am I transsexual? And the very famous English writer Quentin Crisp, who lived his whole life as a feminine male homosexual, said close to his death, he said, I finally realised what I actually am, and I'm a transsexual. Well, after all these years. So this gender dysphoria is really a very consistent thing. They all feel it. I mean, Juno Dawson, a couple of years ago, got in a lot of trouble for... She was a gay male who transitioned into a trans woman, HST as trans woman, saying she couldn't deal with this gay culture anymore, and she said it was just so full of gender dysphoria, which they were trying to hide, that she just like, I can't deal with it. So it is an issue in that culture. But that does not mean that all transgender homosexuals will be trans. It's a possibility for all of them. Okay? I hope that clarifies it. Cheers. Bye.